All right, all right. We are live. That's right, we are live. It's been a while. I think it's been a couple weeks. So, first off, I want to start off with welcoming you guys all to the stream and live. But I first want to explain why I've been gone for a while. So, first off, I had the flu for 2 weeks ago, so I wasn't really able to do anything like video related on here. Thank you, Fan Man. Welcome to the live. And this last week, my family thought we had COVID, but it turns out we ended up not doing it. But we were all coughing and sick, so wasn't really able to do any lives these last couple weeks. So I've also been trying to catch up with school, so it's been kind of a hard thing to get on. But I'm back. The den is back, and so now I'm able to, actually start doing lives. But I did think of one thing that I decided I want to start, which is the channel news that I want to talk about. I have started my own little blog slash my own kind of little form of writing when I'm not able to do my videos, because most often I'm only able to do on weekends, but sometimes I'd have time to maybe write something down or not. I call it the Analytics Alliance, and it's gonna be kind of a form of things that watch stats. So, for example, Detroit Lions will have stats, and we kind of keep track of those stats. And it's also going to be opinions on there, but it's going to be there. So I'm hoping that one day it will grow. For now, there's going to be one head person of each team. I'm going to be the head of the Lions, of course. And you're going to have each person that kind of watch positional groups and have the stats for them and watch them. So, say I got someone to quarterback, so person would watch the quarterback stats for the season for the Lions. And that's what it would hopefully be. For now, it's only me and the Alliance. But that's what's kind of started, and I've also just wrote a couple pieces on there. I'm going to share it real quick on there. I'm going to start putting into the link into every video or live I do. But here it is, the Analytics Alliance on here. Let's see if it's actually, there we go. Just a little bit of golden eagle. That's why it's my new logo. But it's just going to kind of be with a little bit of talk here and there about statistics and film, and I got other things like that. So I've already made things about what the Analytic Alliance is, who the owner is, what kind of stats will be used. I made a little couple of pieces already on why the Lions should not draft Kyle Hamilton, or the first mock draft / offseason for the Detroit Lions, which is what I'm going to be talking about later in the video. Touch live. And yeah. Hatter's House 710 says Kyle Hamilton at 2. Hey, that's an opinion. That's probably my second choice, but I'm actually going to be talking about Kyle Hamilton because I have now officially done a film review for every single prospect that we are most likely to draft. I have looked at Kayvon Thibodeaux, Aiden Hutchinson, George Karlaftis, and Kyle Hamilton. I also see there being no chance we draft Derek Stingley. I don't believe PFF was accurate there. So, first off, I'm going to give you guys my little mock offseason for the Detroit Lions. And I'm going to talk about Kyle Hamilton maybe a bit later. So first off, this is what we're going to get into. Kind of going into a little piece. So, first off, let's start with NFL free agents. My first target that I decided the Lions should go after is DJ Chark, receiver from the Jags. He has great size, 6'4", 198 pounds. He runs a 4.34 40-yard dash time. Now, Chark has dealt with injury issues the last 2 years, playing 13 games in 2020 and only playing 4 the last season. But none of them should be reoccurring injuries from what I've seen. But Chark was incredibly productive in 2019 and in 2020. But in 2019, he had 1,800 yards, 13.8 yards per catch, 104 rating, and 8 touchdowns. In 2020, he wasn't as productive, but the only reason he wasn't as productive was due to injury. But he had 706 yards, 13.3 yards a catch. His rating did go down to a 76 due to 5 interceptions thrown his way. How much of that was the quarterback was probably mostly on him, but he still had 5 touchdowns thrown his way. And there's a little bit of video, guys, that I would love for you guys to watch in the description about what could make DJ Chark a good receiver. I did not make this, but this is a video I found on YouTube, and I thought it was a great video. But since he does have an injury history, never had a super insane season, he shouldn't be too expensive like a Michael Gallup or a Chris Godwin or Devontae Adams, but he gives the Lions someone who shouldn't be too expensive to add, but gives the Lions a real number one receiver option who also has a deep threat with speed. And then candidate number 2 is Casey Hayward, cornerback from the Las Vegas Raiders. Casey Hayward is an established vet. While he is older at 32, he's still producing at a high level. He allowed 0 touchdowns and 258 coverage snaps per Pro Football Focus, and then there's the link in the source there. And ended the season with a 57% completion percentage, 7.6 yards a target, 3 touchdowns allowed, 91.9 rating when thrown his way per PFR or Pro Football Reference. He also had 46 tackles, 1 interception, and 9 pass defense. He would make a perfect ad of CB to add to compete with Jeff Okudah, Vito Melifonwu, and Amanio for cornerback positions. And since he's older, the Lions will have to pay the farm to grab him. Candidate 3, Trevor Siemian, quarterback, New Orleans Saints. Not an exciting addition, but I think it's something that kind of needs to be done. Tim Boyle was awful last season. Both Lions free agents are free agents this season. Trevor's connections with Campbell and Glenn, with Trevor being in New Orleans in 2020. And Trevor's a pretty good backup that you can add, and he won't lose you a game, and he can have some pretty good numbers. Just some stats in there. Taven Bryan is the 4th candidate to add, defensive tackle / defensive end from the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Lions revived Charles Harris this last season and like guys with something to prove. Taven Bryan is a great candidate to add. He hasn't worked out with the Lions, with the Jags, but he has an athletic profile with a combine grade of 6.80 per NFL.com. He has good size, 6'5", 291. He'll be a cheap one-year guy who you can add in to see if he can prove something like Charles Harris did. And he has connections with Todd Wash, Detroit Lions D-line coach, who was the defensive coordinator of the Jags. So the Detroit Lions, I think, will re-sign Tracy Walker, Scott DeLee, Jack Fox, Sean Diana Hamilton, Jalen Reeves-Maben, C.J. Moore, Josh Woods, and Evan Brown. I don't think Charles Harris will be re-signed since we already have Romeo Okwara to a big deal, and we can get a top-tier edge in the draft. And Juwan Okwara is a young edge who we drafted in the 3rd round, who I think can be a stud. So this is my draft prediction with no trades after reviewing all the film, looking at all the guys, adding in, looking at them all, trying to go in a non-biased way. Since I'm not a Michigan fan, you can't call me biased for this, but I had the Lions taking Aiden Hutchinson with the 2nd overall pick. Logically. I don't think the Detroit Lions are George Karlaftis, who I like the most personally. Because simply he just doesn't have the ceiling that Aiden does, and it's just not who the scouts seem to be in love with. But Aiden, well, he's 6'6", 265. His stats have improved every year since joining Michigan, but his stats really exploded in 2021 with a pass rush win rate of 25.4% per Pro Football Focus. That's more than Chase Young, by the way. I didn't get to put this in there. It's more than Chase Young, Andrew Okwara, and Josh Uche coming out of college. He led the Big Ten in pressure rates over the likes of George Karlaftis, Arnold Gebedikte, and Jacob Panasiuk. And if you don't know who Jacob Panasiuk is, he's an edge out of Michigan Michigan State who had a really productive year. I do know there's Michigan State fans in this group, but yeah. Broke the record of most pressures in a game with 15 versus Ohio State to pair that up with 3 sacks. He led college football in pressure rate for most of the season, but kind of lost a little bit. According to a little source there, after the Georgia game. Aiden also led college football in pressure rate for most of the season. Aiden is also versatile, being able to play with his hands in the dirt, standing up while also being able to play both a 4-3 and a 3-4. Aiden also can get bigger and faster, and he was already listed number 2 on the annual Freaks list, which has 100 players, and Aiden made it at 2. Kayvon Thibodeau did not make that list. George Karlaftis was number 5. Next pick I have the Detroit Lions having, which is 32 or 31, is going to be Daxton Hill, free safety / strong safety from the University of Michigan. I consider Jaquan Brisker here, but I do think Brisker will go higher. I rate him higher than I do Daxton Hill. But the Lions need help in their secondary. We all know it's Will Harris. Daxton Hill addresses that first off. He checks off a lot of boxes, the first couple being size and athletic ability. Daxton Hill is 6'0", 192, and his room with around a 4.3 40 time. This helps him in the next category, versatility. Daxton Hill can play both safety spots, which is what Aubrey Pleasant has said the Detroit Lions like in our safeties. Quote, because of the way we play defensively, we really ask our safeties to do a lot of things, not only in the run fits and pass coverage, blitzing, playing in the middle, and over half-field safety, end quote. Pleasant said, new quote, so you need some versatility. You got to have some really good leadership qualities, and you got to have some ball production, end quote. And those little Pride of Detroit things there for links. Daxton Hill can play both safety spots and slot corner. Daxton Hill's been productive, having 69 tackles, 0.5 sacks, 2 interceptions, 8 pass defense, and 71% completion percentage, and 1 score allowed this last season. Season before that, when he played slot corner, he had an And also, he also had an 81.5 rating this season. And the year before that, he allowed 13 and 34, 24 passes, 0 scores, 1 interception, and 163 rating at the slot corner. This is just a good pick. He's high ceiling as well. Round 2, I have the Detroit Lions at pick 34, selecting Leo Chenal, inside linebacker from the University of Wisconsin. Leo Chenal is my personal draft crush for the Detroit Lions. With his production and ability both as a pass rusher, and a run stuffer, he was great at those two areas, having 10 sacks, 26 pressures, 2 forced fumbles, 96 tackles, and 63 run stops per Pro Football Focus. He has great size for his role, run and pass rushers. Linebacker, he has good size with 6'2", 260. He uses his hands well and he has great power. And I'm about to show you a clip of him versus Tyler Linbaum, arguably the best center in college football. So let me pull it up. If you look here, oh crap, I did the wrong spot. Ha, that's my bad, guys. That is my bad. Whoop, whoop, whoop. There it is. And here's a clip of him just absolutely annihilating him. Look at this. Perfect snap. Whoosh. Got the pressure. He was in the quarterback's face. Yes, he didn't get the sack. That's just because it was a quick throw. There's something Janelle could have done there. But he destroyed Tyler Linbaum there. That's an example of how good of his pass rush can be. He's good at run stuffing. He's good at pass rushing. Now, some people will say, "Oh, okay, he's not good in coverage though." Like I said, and people might get the Jared Davis vibes. Janelle is great at both things, unlike Davis. More importantly, it's really rare to get a linebacker who's great at all three things. And I'm also going to have a little guy that I have the Lions adding in to help replace the loss of a good coverage linebacker. We'll see him later. But also, you guys got to look at Devin. There's a little player I'm going to bring up. I didn't bring this up in the article, though. I did not know about it until I looked at this guy's Pro Football Reference profile. But I'm not saying he's going to be this player, nor do I compare him to his player or anything. But here's an example of one of the best linebackers in football, Devin White. Devin White, in his Bills Super Bowl season, where he had 140 tackles and 9 sacks and 16 quarterback hits and 15 tackles for loss, an 83.3% completion percentage, 3 touchdowns allowed, and 109 rating. That's not good. He also had 15 missed tackles. So just for reference, you don't exactly need to be great at everything in order to be a great linebacker. Sometimes you just need other teammates to help fulfill those roles. And if Chanel is given in a role where he can be passing and rushing with limited coverage, and hopefully he can get better at that. He did run a 4.6 40-yard dash time, which is great for his size, and if he can improve that at the combine, he's going to kill it. But that's where I go back to the rest of the mock draft. So we can get back over there. Here's my next selection for the Detroit Lions. Round 3 at pick 66, I have the Detroit Lions taking Khalil Shakir, receiver from Boise State. Despite the fact the Lions signed DJ Chark in this scenario, they still need help at receiver. Shakir's a versatile guy, playing 93 outside snaps and 320 slot snaps. Now, I think he's honestly still a great outside receiver. This is per the Pro Football Focus simulator. Shakir's solid size, 6'0", 190 pounds. He does have short arms, but hasn't held them back. Shakir has some great numbers to his name, with 2,780 yards, 20 receiving touchdowns the last 3 years. He isn't just some normal receiver. He edges 6.6 yards after the catch, Pro Football Focus, and has 4 rushing touchdowns per ESPN. Talk about production. He's a perfect fit for the offense, and Jared Goff is a great. This guy's a great route runner with an ability to make insane catches, and is a yak demon, a perfect addition. Shakir also runs a 4.48 40-yard dash time. Could be faster. But here's the linebacker that balances out Leo Chenal. Troy Anderson, inside linebacker from Montana State. The Lions are not really bringing back Alexander Zillin by sounds of it, nor left with Derek Barnes, Jalen Reeves-Maybin. And why I did have the team adding Chenal, I actually had to change those. I initially had Chad Muma until today. But they still need to add more. It's lackluster and untalented and proven. And so the team adds in Troy Anderson. Anderson provides another nice inside linebacker add to the young mix. Anderson is 6'4", 235, 32.5-inch long arms, and has a wingspan of 77.58 inches and 9 3/8 inches hands. He's good in coverage, but he's a good runster also, having 112 solo tackles, 33 assisted tackles, 14 tackles lost, and he fills his gaps pretty dang well. His coverage numbers are 7 pass defense and 2 interceptions this past season. He's also as an All-American QB at one point, and all this information is per the Big Blue View. He's a good player. And then I have the Lions getting ourselves a new corner. This guy's going to be more competing for the slot corner position. Jacoby Durant, cornerback from South Carolina State. Lions need themselves a new slot corner. And Jacoby Durant has the size, 5'11", 180. He has a 48% completion percentage this latest season, 3 interceptions, 65.5 rating in 2020. And in 2020, he had 4 interceptions, 36.4 rating, and in 2019, he had 3 interceptions and a 23.4 rating when also getting targeted 66 times. He only allowed a 33% completion percentage. This is a shutdown corner Lions need to add to cover slot. He also made the MEAC Defensive Player of the Year per South Carolina football Twitter. It's the same South Carolina that produced Darius Leonard, I'm just saying. Round 6, I have the Detroit Lions against some offensive line depth. Dan Campbell talked about getting offensive line depth during the senior role. I think Ben Brown's perfect, playing both center and offensive guard. Ben Brown can play both offensive guard and center with solid size. He's 6'5", 315. He's only allowed 2 sacks in 3 years, 5 quarterback hits in 3 years, and 13 quarterbacks hurries in 3 years per Pro Football Focus Simulator. This is the guy to get. Round 6, I have the Detroit Lions getting Leon O'Neal, strong safety / free safety from Texas A&M. Leon O'Neal will add another safety to the backup to their young duo. Neal's a hard-hitting safety you can trust in the run game with good size and good ceiling, with solid coverage skills, with 4 interceptions and 12 passes defensive, with a solid amount of 40 or more tackles the last 3 years. He's really raw, and so that's what makes him fall in this draft, and he's just not seen to be rated super highly, but he's someone who did a good job at the senior role. I think his stock will get him up there, but unfortunately he fell here in the simulator. Round 7, pick 230. I had a Detroit Lions taking the super back from Michigan State, Connor Hayward, tight end, fullback, and running back from Michigan State. Lions seem to be in love with Hayward, as they constantly praised him all over in interviews. Connor's with the Lions have been wanting Cabinda to be a super back and playing well at all 3 with that. Also listed production, and he has some good numbers. You go on ESPN, he's had production as a running back, fullback, and tight end. Round 7, I have the Detroit Lions taking another cornerback, Tariq Woolen. Woolen is a project cornerback with good size and speed and running. 4.340 time with 6 at the size of 6'5", 210 pounds. He's never had really good coverage numbers, but his athletic profile makes him a good project player. This is just in case the V2 Melifonwu doesn't work out, Jeff Okudah doesn't recover, and of course Casey Hayward would inevitably leave, and all you have left is Amani O. This is a good player that you can maybe add and hope that he can become a stud for you. Statistical prediction I have for the players that are added. DJ Chark, I think, will have 1,007 yards, 15 touchdowns, and 15 yards per catch average and 6 touchdowns. Casey Hayward have 59% completion percentage, 3 touchdowns out of a 90 rating. Dean Bryan, 20 tackles, 3 sacks. Aiden Hutchinson, 55 tackles, 8 for loss, 9 sacks, 50 QB pressures, and 10 QB hits. Daxon Hill, 95 tackles, 2 interceptions, 8 passes defense, 69% completion percentage, and 3 touchdowns allowed. Leo Chenal, 112 tackles, 13 for loss, 5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, 21 quarterback pressures, and man coverage numbers. Khalil Shakir, 900 yards, 5 touchdowns, 14 yards per catch average. Troy Anderson, 108 tackles, 10 for loss, 1.5 sacks, and 6 passes defense. Jacoby Durant, 38 tackles, 6 passes defense, 2 interceptions, 62% completion percentage, 2 touchdowns allowed, 90 rating. I had a guy named Jared Patterson on here also, but apparently he's not draft eligible, but I won't have predictions for a rotational player regardless. And there, Leon O'Neal, 62 tackles, 1 forced fumble. Connor Hayward, 120 yards, 2 touchdowns. One will have NA stats being a project player. That is my offseason prediction for the Detroit Lions that I would think would be a really fun idea of seeing, and a lot of guys I think are needed there. And overall, that is just the reasons I have for said things. Now, I would love to know what your guys' thoughts are on this, and I'm going to pull up my Kyle Hamilton page on here. Let you guys tell me your thoughts, hopefully. Also, I'm not going to be. I'm going to switch into the logo for now. Anyway, I'm not subtracting up here. Share screen. There we go. So here's my little thing with Kyle Hamilton. I was actually on the Kyle Hamilton bandwagon for a good while there. But I've looked into it, and here's the reasons why I don't think the Lions should draft Kyle Hamilton, even though I'm very high on him. So Kyle Hamilton is one of the best safety prospects in recent NFL history, with fantastic size and athletic ability, along with the ability to be a hybrid safety. Hamilton has, of course, gained a lot of hype for these traits, so much he's been mocked to Detroit Lions a fair share and amount of times it seems to be a fairly popular choice for Lions fans. The issue is Kyle Hamilton is not worth the number 2 overall pick for these reasons. Number 1, positional value. Safety is simply not a spot safety go. Sean Taylor, the best safety prospect in recent memory, and he was picked number 5 overall. The last time safety was picked number 2 was in 1991 in Eric Turner. Both turned out to be great players, but as you can tell, the league simply does not view safety as valuable compared to edge, quarterback, and offensive tackle. Number 2, while there is a ton of good edges, such as Arnold Igabigte, Boya Mafe, and Sam Williams, this argument doesn't make too much sense as there's a great set of safety prospects as well, containing guys like Jaquan Brisker, Daxton Hill, Jalen Patera, Lewis Sign, and Brian Cook, and even PFF's highest graded safety, Kirby Joseph. To put it simply, Hamilton wouldn't make much sense. Aiden Kayvon, along with even George K, have more value of high ceilings and provide more than a safety would. 3, a good safety doesn't change a defense as much as a good pass rusher. Look at the 2020 49ers versus the 2021 San Francisco 49ers defenses. In 2020, the 49ers had their stud safeties and had the 17th ranked defense, but didn't have Nick Bosa, which improved to 9th defense when they did get Nick Bosa. Sources from this info and from Pro Football Reference. Think about it. Every good defense is at least a good pass rusher. Steelers have Watt, Rams have AD, Packers have Smith, the list goes on. There's some great safeties out there, such as Jesse Bates, Tyrann Mathieu, Minkah Fitzpatrick, and Irvin James. But guess what? Matthew's a 3rd-round pick. Jesse Bates is a 2nd-round pick. Fitzpatrick's pick number 11. James was picked at 17. You see a theme here, guys. The best safeties in football were not even picked top 10. And you can clearly get a good safety later in the draft, and there's no need to draft Hamilton over a stud edge. It's just statistically true. Stud pass rushers just provide more value than a stud safety. And that's just my reasonings for why the Lions shouldn't take Kyle Hamilton. And also, I'm just fairly high on Aiden and George Karlaftis. Now, I do think I would like trading back and maybe getting Kyle Hamilton and like getting a Sam Williams. That I could see. I feel like that could be really valuable. But for now, if we're sticking at 2, this is what I think should be the offseason for the Detroit Lions. And yeah. So what are your thoughts, guys? I would love to see what your guys' thoughts are. And yeah, so hopefully you'll also be making more videos and going on more lives and all that jazz. But I also will be making a case. I've already made those case for the prospect videos, and I am going to be making an article on what if the Lions do draft Kyle Hamilton, and I'll maybe do a video on it. And like say they stay at 2, or they have a trade back scenario, which is what I prefer if we draft Kyle Hamilton. But that I think will be coming out sooner. And yeah. So what are your guys' thoughts on the mock off season? And I hope you guys also like the content that's going to be starting on there. I hope you like the idea. Sure, you guys can hear me. You guys can hear that or not? Mm-hmm. You guys can hear that or not? Yeah. Either way. So this is, and now in fact, since I got a bit more time, I actually finished the 2 things a lot quicker than I thought I would. I'll actually do my own little Kyle Hamilton mock draft for you guys. Even though I prefer to trade down and get him, but might as well. Call up PFS mock draft simulator. Oh, welcome back, everyone. Yeah, if you guys give your opinions, I would greatly appreciate that. Yeah, so we stay at 2. This is a scenario. Okay, should we go Kyle Hamilton? We're there. So then who's available at edge? Is there an edge? It's even worth. Probably good BT's around. Jermaine Johnson will not be around Pro Football Focus. There is no way. He's getting too much hype among scouts. Percentage, boy, man. Sam Williams is there. I'm going to kind of go off what I think will happen. I don't think he's going to be there. So, the next best option is to go safety here. And I think it's Jaquan Brisker would be a better pick there. And then you go linebacker, Leo Chanel. I'm a big fan of him. And here I'm going to stop. Oh. Let me stop sharing my screen so that way my things are more clear. Yeah, so we got Leo Chanel there. And then go grab an edge, like or Sam Williams. Nick Bonino has some pretty high pressure rates. I think I'm gonna go Sam Williams. I'm really high on Sam Williams. So we grab Sam Williams. And we can probably go grab like a Troy Anderson. Around here. Bam. Oh wait, we didn't draft a receiver yet, I don't think. Did I draft a receiver? Oh no, I selected Leo Janelle. So actually goes go back and select the receiver here. And I am a big fan of Javon Hilagi and Trey Turner. So let's go ahead and select Javon Hilagi, or I think is his name. I always mess it up. And go there. Get kind of addressing needs. There's some other guys that maybe would have preferred in some other drafts, but let's see. Cole Turner's around. Ooh, Jake Ferguson. I'm not going to pass on Jake Ferguson. Jake Ferguson, and then we're going to go back around. Okay, so Mike Rose is a good player. Sad. Should I go there? I can see if there's any other receivers. Nope. Trey Turner's a tempting pick, though. We go to offensive tackle. Let's go Cordell Volson. And then we're going to go Mike Rose with the final pick, if he's still around. Mm-hmm. Pretty good in coverage. Okay, so he's not. That's unfortunate. So I'm going to go Nate Landman. He's a pretty good player. There. And we got left with Ben Brown, 7th. And oh crap. Okay, Jack Cohn. We need a backup. There we go. And that should be all the picks. Yeah, there you go. There you go, guys. Here is my Kyle Hamilton mock draft. I could probably get a better one with more research. But pick 2, Kyle Hamilton. Oh my gosh, I picked 2 safeties. There was literally no need for me. I am just so used to drafting edge. I guess this wouldn't be a bad deal. Just don't re-sign Tracy Walker. Yes. Not a bad scenario. I'm gonna, yeah. As you can see, I normally kind of like a practice my idea of who you can get at edge, but so yeah, I'll be writing an article on what I'll really do with Kyle Hamilton. But so that is it. So I hope you guys can look at the alliance, give it a good look in there, and I will try posting every time. And yeah, and I'm gonna be making a Twitter soon. That way you guys can actually see what I'm talking about and everything, and set my own little interactions. And make sure to try to join my Discord, which is in the description as well. At least it should be. And oh man, I actually didn't put the link in. Oh man, this is a BIF stream. I did not put my link into my analytics website. There we go. So here's the links to everything, and yeah, that's. Oh my word! I'll put it in a comment because apparently I can't put my link in descriptions. All right, well that is the stream, guys, and yeah. Love you guys. I hope you guys are having a good time, and Also, I'm predicting the Bengals to win the Super Bowl. See you later. One Pride.